Hi everybody, I hope you are all well. It's been a while since I've done, I think it's been about a week and a half or maybe 2 weeks since I did my last video, but either way, I'm back. As usual, I have been crazy busy with this, that, and the other. And I don't know if I mentioned it in my previous video, but my sister is finally watching Chicago Fire. You know how much I love that show. And our friend Sarah, hi Sarah, if you're watching, she is watching it as well. So I have been rewatching Chicago Fire, so because I couldn't remember obviously exactly every single episode because there's like nearly 200 of them. So I've been rewatching that as well and really enjoying all the chat they've been having about it. So yeah, that's been a lot of fun. I can't believe we are in September. That is mental. I've got, I think, 3 or 4 weeks until finally got 2 weeks off from work, which I'm so excited for. And yeah, it'll be the Literature Festival soon, so week. I'm not attending in-person events because I've talked about this before, how I feel kind of anxious about it because with COVID and everything. So I haven't booked any tickets, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm still going to kind of go a couple of times or more than that and just get the atmosphere. And then I might possibly buy a ticket on the day, as it were, but I don't want to spend loads of money on tickets and then find I'm just not feeling right to go in because I'm feeling anxious. But I am going to be doing the subscription that you can get for the festival, where you pay, I think it's about £20, and you get access to all of their recordings throughout the festival for 3 months. So I'm very excited for that, so I can still attend in a way without physically being there. But yeah, definitely next year I will be there in person. I'm going to make sure that happens. But anywho, I am here to talk about the book I've been reading, and that is The Evening and the Morning by Ken Follett. I finished this like an hour ago. And so I have rushed about. I've gotten ready. My hair is still soaking wet, and I was like, I'm sure you guys won't care because I don't care. So yeah, I've been running around for the past hour getting ready for the day and everything, and and it's only been an hour, so I'm doing this pretty straight after I finish this book, and I cannot get this book out of my mind. Now, in case you aren't aware, The Evening and the Morning is actually a prequel to The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. This is the drama cover because when what happened was that the trailer came out for the drama of this book. I thought the trailer looked amazing, so I was like, right, I want to read the book first. So I got the book, and I had to get the drama cover, so I don't have the standard one. But basically, just so you are aware, there is a trilogy of books that Ken wrote. So we've got The Pillars of the Earth, World Without End, and Column of Fire. And all of them are about the same area of the UK, south, near me actually, set near Glastonbury, a place called Kingsbridge. And Pillars of the Earth covers the building of their cathedral. Then World Without End happens like 100 years or so later with the expansion of that cathedral. And then Column of Fire is an Elizabethan one, which again surrounds the cathedral, but more is to do with people in the surrounding area and wars and everything that was going on at that time. So like the Spanish Armada, that kind of thing. So yeah, so that is the trilogy. And then Ken put up on Twitter a picture of this massive wad of paper and said, oh, by the way, I've written a prequel. And I screamed. I was freaking the fuck out about this. I was just like, oh my fucking God. And because, like I said in my announcement video, oh dear, nearly dropped all of them, because I've got these in paperback, I have to wait for the paperback in order for them to look nice on my bookshelf. So I've had to wait an additional year for this. I have kept away from every spoilers possible. I had not even read the back of the blurb on the back of the book. I was like, right, I want to go with this just completely blind. And oh my God. Everybody knows, who knows me, how much Pillars of the Earth means to me. I love that book. It is like, because the thing is, I would like to have, I suppose, a copy that doesn't have this drama cover, just so that all of them would look, you know, the same kind of designs on my shelf. But because this is the one that I read, this is the one that I just fell head over heels in love with Kingsbridge, I can't let it go. I love this book so much. So whenever he's brought out a subsequent book, I'm like, okay, let's see how this goes. And I've enjoyed it, but Pillars has always been up there as number one. Nothing can budge that for me. Out of all of these books related to Kingsbridge, nothing can touch Pillars. Then this guy came along, and I don't say this lightly. This is up there with Pillars in pole position for me. I was blown away by this book. I am not being like, oh, because it's a book series that she loves and therefore it's an author that she loves, she must love it. No. Far from it. World Without End, actually, it's the thickest book, and I think it's the worst out of the lot of them. It's still good, but it has issues for me. But yeah, so I have issues with, you know, with this book series. I'm not going to try and just say, oh my God, everything is absolute perfection, because it's not. That would be really, really wrong of me to say. So for me to say that a book that has lived in my heart since, I think it was, when did this, actually, the drama come out? Hang on, I've got the drama here on the DVD of it. 2010. So, you know, it's been some time. Oh, sorry, something just popped on my screen. Hang on. Go away. There we go, sorry. Pop-ups on my screen really annoy me. So it's been, well, it's been over a decade, and not one of the other books has met what Pillars does in my heart. So to say that this has come along and has gone joint first place with Pillars, I think it says a lot. Now, I realise I'm nearly 8 minutes into this and I haven't told you what this is about. So, all of the Pillars, you know, the Kingsbridge series, as I said, like 100+ years apart. So it's not the same people, but it is the same locations, the same buildings, you know, that kind of thing. And occasionally there might be a little reference to say, oh, this person is descended from, and then you get a name from the Pillars of the Earth, and it's like, oh, okay, right, get the family tree, that's good. But there have been things like, okay, there is a monastery in Pillars of the Earth, and there is a saint that is buried there. And obviously we've got Kingsbridge, we've got Shiring, we've got the big marketplace, and all of this lot that is just, they are what they are. This tells you exactly how they got established and follows mainly 3 characters. So we've got Eldred, who's a monk. We've got Ragnar, sorry, I said Ragnar then. Ragnar, who is a Norman noblewoman from Cherbourg, who is come to Shiring for marriage. And then we have Edgar, the builder, who has come to the area because a Viking attack led to his father being killed, the woman he loved being killed, and his family's trade of building boats being completely destroyed, completely decimated. So he, his brothers and his mother come to the area to start anew, basically, to start a farm. And it's about their lives intertwining. And I kid you not, I must have sent a dozen or more capital lettered messages to Laura and Sarah. Sorry, there's a massive plane going over my house right now. To Laura and Sarah going, oh my fucking god, that's that and that's that and that's the building. I was freaking out when the bones of Adolphus, the sacred bones, as I mentioned, in Pillars that appear in Pillars of the Earth, that are very prominent in Pillars of the Earth, actually arriving in the area. I was going crazy. It's one of these books where you can read it completely standalone. Don't feel that you have to read the trilogy to be able to understand anything, because as I said, these are books that are set hundreds of years apart. It's the people change and the stories obviously change, but the monuments, the buildings and that are the things that link. So you don't have to have read the trilogy previously to read this book. But if you have read the trilogy, I think you will you'll see this book in a different way, like I did. It's just, oh god, it's wonderful. But one thing that is so important in this book to me, and I so respect Ken so much about, is the women in this book. In all of the books, not just this one, but especially in this one, he writes women beautifully. He completely understands every single character. He totally understands everything they feel. It's kind of some writers, when you read their books, they can have issues writing different sexes. That's not a criticism sort of thing, but you can see that sometimes there's a bit of a struggle, and I kind of, I'll read a female character and what they're going through, and then what they're thinking and what they do, and I'm like, but would she do that? I mean, I'm a woman. I would kind of do this. I know obviously myself versus a fictional character might be very different, but still, it's kind of like, but would that happen? Would this really happen? But Ken totally and utterly understands his female characters and writes them with exquisite beauty. And there's so many women, particularly in this book, that are so important, of every single rank that you can think of, with every single type of background and every type of beginning and leading up to the end. He really raises his women. He really respects them, and it's it truly is women who make a massive difference in this book and kind of establishes Kingsbridge. And speaking of Kingsbridge, it never even came to my mind how Kingsbridge got its name. Never. Ever. I was just like, okay, it's called Kingsbridge. And then to go through this book and then just get a single line at the end of a chapter saying people nowadays called it Kingsbridge. And I totally understand why that happened. I was near screaming. I was just like, I'm having an existential crisis right now reading this book. It was ridiculous how I was reacting to this book. But yes, women are so respected in this book. I'm not saying that they are kept away from anything bad. I'm not saying that they can't do bad, because they can. We have witnessed this throughout this book, that women do bad things, as in all of his books. But Ragnar especially is a wonderful character. I'm so glad he wrote her. And her and Edgar, oh my god. Oh my god. If you know Pillars, Jack and Aliena are like seminal. They are seminal in that book. They are like, wow. Edgar and Ragnar, kind of, I think they're forcing them into second place, if I'm honest. If I had to talk about my favourite couples in Ken Follett's books, Really? Seriously? This is a big deal for me. For this book to come along and kind of shimmy pillars kind of out the way in a bit. It's just, it's extraordinary what he's done with this. Right, I want to give a warning. All of Ken, if you haven't read any Ken Follett's books, you haven't read any of the Kingsbridge books, violence is something which appear in all of his books. Some of it's domestic abuse, some's verbal, some is sexual, and then you have, you know, physical, especially in Kingsbridge books, because it's going from medieval times to Tudor times, so there is a lot of fighting, you can imagine. And this book, because it is to do with Vikings and such, there is a lot of physical violence. But there is also, as in the other Kingsbridge books, there's rape, there's assault on women, in, you know, physical assaults and such. And in this book in particular, I want to flag it just so. I need to tell you what it is, but I'm not going to explain why, because I don't want to spoil that, but you need to know this particular thing. There is one bit of violence in this book which Ken has not done before in any of his Kingsbridge books, and I can't think of any other books of his that I've read. I've not read a whole range of his other books, but I have read some. There is a death of a newborn baby in this book. And when I say death, I mean a really shocking murder. And when I say newborn, I mean minutes after this baby is born, alive and well. So I'm not going to go any further than that, but I just want to prepare you for that, because when I read that, I was like, holy fuck, that is dark. I get why the character who did it did what they did, because of the way that they viewed the world and this situation. I am not saying that that was a good thing that he did, because holy fuck, why would that be a good thing? But I was really taken aback by that. I mean, I can read about people getting hacked to bits in battle in Ken's books and all these, you know, horrific, like rape and all that lot. But when I read that, I was actually taken aback by it, because he's not done that before. So yeah. So I want to tell you guys that there could be some triggering stuff throughout the books for this, but particularly in this one, with the death of that baby. It was so sad, so sad, that moment. I love also that Ken always gives his baddies a comeuppance. It's not a thing that, you know, I'm reading his books and going, oh, well, it'll be fine in the end, because sometimes, you know, the bad guy does get away, but he explains later on that give it time and they can get the comeuppance. Some get the comeuppance straight away. So sometimes you can feel like, oh my god. Like, there is one character in this who, about 100 pages before the end, I was like, oh, well, okay, that's their comeuppance. And then right near the end of the book, we went back to them and I realised, oh, I see what you did there, Ken. You clever boy. So, you know, he sometimes does pull it, you know, really stretch it out. But yeah, I never read his books thinking, when I come across a bad guy, oh, they'll get their comeuppance. It'd be, you know, I don't have to worry about that. I know what Ken's going to do. Honest to God, I read through this book and I had no fucking clue where this was going to go. There was nothing predictable. There was never once did I feel like the characters were safe. I was just like, oh God, just please, if anything, just please have these two characters who I absolutely adore, to the, like, in my heart and soul, get together. That's all I'm begging you to do, Ken. And luckily for me, he did. But there was something so thrilling, so on the edge of my seat feeling throughout this book, which, even though I had kind of experienced that with Column of Fire and World Without End, I hadn't felt really that tension, that constant tension, whilst reading a Kingsbridge book since Pillars. And so to have that again was so great. I was just so taken aback by this. And as I said, I'm only like an hour. I haven't had time to like reflect, like take an evening or, you know, and do a next day review. I am just like, this is insane. This is insane how good this book is. Ken, I don't think we will get another Kingsbridge book, but if we do, I will be very, very happy with that, because I don't know how much they can do, because this is set 100 years before Pillars, and then World Without End is 200 years after Pillars, and then Column of Fire is 300 years after World Without End. So, you know, there is a lot of history in here, and as to where he could wedge another book, I honestly don't know. I think it would have to be after Column of Fire, but then what could he do? Because this sounds weird, but there'd be no reason for them to build any more, because they've got the cathedral, they extended the cathedral, the monastery and such, and that is all sorted. So it's like, what could you do? So I think it's possible that this is the last Kingsbridge book. But yeah, we'll just have to see, because he sprung this as a surprise to everyone. The fact that, just so you're aware, Pillars of the Earth he wrote in, or he had published, because it took him, I think, a few years to write. He had it published in 1989, and then the prequel came out last year. So he's been with this world, with this area near Glastonbury for many, many, many years now. And maybe it's time, this was him putting it to bed properly, answering the questions from fans, like how things got its names and all that lot. And I appreciate it so, so much. I am in awe of this. It's totally true. It says here on the front, Follett is a master storyteller. He is. I was just completely engrossed in this so much. I just love it. And I think also this one, his characters have always felt very human to me, don't get me wrong, but especially in this one, I really felt it. I really felt a connection, as it were, to the characters. I really felt that I could envision these people, and so anytime any one of them got hurt, I felt it. Whenever anyone felt happy, I felt it for them. You know, it was just, it was beautiful. It was elegant. It was shocking. It was sad. It was stunning. It was happy. It was everything that I wanted it to be and more. It was stuff that I didn't expect. And, I adored it. I'm going to have to get the audiobook now. Annoyingly, I got my Audible credit 2 days ago and I've used it. So my next Audible credit, I will get the audiobook of this and listen to it, because I've got the audiobooks of all the other three. So I'm going to have to get this one next. And yeah, see how I do. I am in awe. I think what I might do actually, next month when I get my credit and I buy this, I might listen to all 4 of them. That is a plan. Let's do it. Let's do that. So yes, go through the whole saga from beginning to end. That would be absolutely brilliant. I'm going to have to do that now. I've set it in stone, guys. In stone. You know what I mean if you watch Pillars. Sorry, if you've read or watched Pillars, because obviously you can watch the drama. I've set it in stone. That is what I'm going to do next month when I get my new Audible credit. I will do that. So that's the evening and the morning. I'm not going to do a reading because I'm like 25 minutes in now. But yes, it was exhilarating. It was everything. Oh my God, I loved it. So, key questions I always ask. Will I read this again? Oh, you know I will. This is not leaving my bookshelf anytime soon. I'm going to have to. I rejigged all of my study, because if you watch my study tour video, you'll see I had all of these white bookcases that were full of DVDs, and then I had my against the other wall I had my books in like pine ones. And last Sunday, I woke up at like 5-6 o'clock in the morning. I was like, I wonder what it would look like if I switched them. So so all of my books are now on my white bookcases, and then all my various DVDs are on the pine ones, which took me ages to do and reorganize all of my books. And now I've got to make room for this one. So yes, but this will having pride of place on my bookcases with my other Ken Follett books, definitely. Would I read any more of Ken's work? Of course. I love his books. I think now I might explore some more of his books, actually. It'd be quite interesting to see what I think of his other works and such. I have read a few, but they've been like singular ones. So yeah, we'll just have to see what I think, because there is another or a couple actually of like big saga books, and they are all complete as far as I am aware. So that means I could read literally another saga back to back. That would be very interesting, I think. Would I recommend this to anyone? Yes, I certainly would. I would flag that it obviously has a lot of violence, and there might be some triggering stuff in there because it's historical writing. It's what it is. And I would say, as I said before, that if this is a prequel, but you don't have to worry about having read the Kingsbridge trilogy previously. But if you have read that trilogy previously, I'm sure you will appreciate this on a whole nother level. Okay, so there's my thoughts on The Evening and the Morning by Ken Follett. Have you read this book? I'd love to know what you think. Leave me a comment in the comments box below, or give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Entirely up to you. I'll let you decide. Oh God, I just remembered. I forgot to mention the drama. The Pillars of the Earth drama. I absolutely love this. They did do a drama of World Without End, but I don't own a copy because I wasn't happy with that. They did okay, but then either the last episode or the last couple of episodes, I can't remember because it was so long ago, they completely changed it. And I was like, why did you do that? Why didn't you follow the book? Why? It doesn't make any sense now. But they did that, and because of that, I haven't got a copy of World Without End. They haven't made a drama for Column of Fire, but there is rumours that this is the new book, The Evening and the Morning, is being adapted. So we'll just have to see what happens with that. It would be very interesting if this gets adapted, and I hope to God that they don't rewrite the ending like they did with World Without End. But yes, I really strongly recommend Pillars of the Earth drama if you can get hold of it. I don't know where you can stream it, but you can buy it on DVD if you want to. Yeah, so there we go. I'm done now. So as I said, I'll be back with my thoughts on my next read, which is Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo. So yeah, I'll let you know what I think of this. All right, guys. Bye.